in a little bit to gank. But the tankiness with Zephyr, the fact that, let's say it keeps him alive for another 15 seconds in that team fight, when you have all 8 tornadoes up, that's 240 magic damage a second, plus your auto attack. Look at someone like Chipper with 1400 health, Ophelia with 800 health, Fade with, can't seem to click on her, 1100 health, Engineer with 1200 health. At 240 magic damage a second, you're burning them down in 5-6 seconds, maybe a little more, maybe a little less after reduction, and of course maybe not all the tornadoes are hitting him at the same time. But an extra 15 seconds times 240 magic damage, need I even do the math? I mean, that's 3600 magic damage over the course of the team fight. That's huge. So, these tanky items on Zephyr really do come in strong with a damage over time, and I believe that's why you mentioned that Zephyr's such a great hard carry there, Impulse, correct?
Correct. The later and later he goes, the more and more tanky he becomes. I mean, there is a point at the very, very, very late game where Zephyr's damage doesn't come into effect, but really that doesn't come into 50, 60, an hour and a half into the game.
Yeah. I mean, 90 minutes in, Zephyr. Oh, go ahead, Kazar.
Yeah, and also like he's really huge now in mid game because now they have Blacksmith with a flaming hammer. So he basically throws out that flaming hammer, he gets the AoE, and he sets everyone on fire, and you have that Sephiroth going in hugging them with all those tornadoes, and that's magic damage, and it really, really hurts.
And as a quick point to note, the flaming hammer reduces enemies' magic armor, so these whirling tornadoes are going to do even more damage.
So they just want to keep him alive and just make Sephiroth just drain down their HP pool.
Hag taking a huge amount of damage here, maybe going to die. Wow, that is unbelievable. That turret is that buff, and this is why Engineer is such a great carry, and we'll get to that in a little bit. And we do see a nice K going out here. Zephyr taking a little bit of damage, same as Blacksmith, but I think everybody's going to get out okay. We did see Demented Shaman going down a little bit earlier. And yeah, I mean, overall, this game is just unbelievably action-packed. It's hard to analyze how the game's being played and keep up with the action, but Eviscerus, two things that he noted. First off, a major totem on Zephyr. I am interested to know exactly what that is going to be used for. I believe I have an understanding that it's going to be used for what's called a Tablet of Command, but I don't know. We'll see if that's what he gets. But then the turret. Eviscerus, you brought up the turret earlier. He maxed the turret. How strong is this turret?
This turret is an absolute beast. It almost single-handedly took out the Hag, which was just getting chain CC'd. I think a lot of people are really underestimate that turret, and especially in team fights, it's kind of hard to see because it's not a big hero, and it puts out equal damage to that Engineer when you just let it sit there and just wail on your team. I love Engineer. He's one of my top played heroes simply because the turret can pretty much solo people late game.
Absolutely, and the reason people do think turret is weak, it used to attack about 3 times as fast as it does now. So talk about broken, but S2 did go ahead and rebalance him there, thank God. And we do see Fade coming in with the illusion. Not a whole lot going to there. And we do have Snoopy of the Cybernetics TV crew joining us now. I don't believe he's going to be able to get in this replay though, but just giving the shout out to him. He did just join us here on Mumble. But Capitalist, are you here? And let's do another replay sync. But Cap, you here?
I am now. Hello.
All right, and now we do. Let's do that replay sync. We're at 29:59, 30 exactly. 30:01, 02, 03,
All right,
04,
I'm good.
05. Now, Cap, how much of this game have you seen? Because you wanted me to go through a ward analysis, but usually that's what you do.
Oh well, the Hag. Jeez, Hag almost got burnt down there. I'm pretty sure I'm still synced up with you guys. She just got destroyed by Fade. But
Yep.
Anyway, real quick, just like the wards thrown down by KDE. KDE's been doing a pretty good job throwing down wards. But right now, Hellborn side, they're roaming pretty well. They've got some good movement. They have no wards. But sorry, over on the side, Demented Shaman actually going down to gank the rest of the Legion team. Actually track them down. Meanwhile, Ophelia's actually in the trouble in the forest. Hag's thrown down, instantly burning him down. Pyro ult. Engineer's gonna be throwing down some stuns, trying to trap a couple of heroes. They're going to try and follow up on a Blacksmith. Hag trying to do some little bit of damage, getting taken down by Fade. Pyromancer and Blacksmith possibly going to get taken down here. Zephyr coming in, throwing his ulti, but Engineer counters with his own. Is he going to be able to take down Engineer? He will. But looks like Zephyr actually possibly in some trouble trying to face on 3 heroes. You know, Fade probably just going to be able to keep him stun locked and get out real quickly.
Now we do
But
see a
yeah,
tablet
back
of
to you guys
command
before I
on
fall out of sync.
Zephyr. Yeah, I think you're a couple seconds behind, but we do see tablet of command on Zephyr. Zephyr is a melee range carry. He needs to get up in the faces of his opponents. Tablet of command puts you, is it 400 or 600? 500 units in the direction that you're facing. So I'm trying to see if there's any 500 attack range heroes. Hag, I believe, is 550, so I'll use Hag as a rough estimate here if we have to. Is Hag dead? I believe she is. No, she's awake now.
I think Chipper has 550.
Oh, I'm looking for 500. I believe Hag is 550. Yeah. Either way, Hag or Chipper, think about their attack range. That's how far forward or back, or basically to wherever they're facing, you can move somebody with tablet of command, including yourself. So Zephyr charging in on somebody, you're not going to be able to really get up to them as long as they have a bunch of slows and they can kind of back kite you. Now you do have Gust, but after the Gust you have no real way to get up in their face. So I would assume the tablet of command is to keep Zephyr moving forward or to push them into Zephyr, because if they're facing Zephyr, they're going to end up right in Zephyr's face thanks to a tablet of command push. So it's an interesting thing to note. Probably, you know, really I would call that a European style of play. We would normally see something like Demonic Breastplate or a Mock of Brilliance on Zephyr before this, but I'm not going to say that I disapprove. I think it's a fantastic item choice here, and we'll see how it plays out through the later game. And also being pointed out to me by Eviscerus, go ahead and say that, boss. You can cut me off whenever you want.
Oh, Zephyr
Eviscerus?
is getting really ballsy, getting really close to Legion. Yeah, it's also good to get out of that Engineer's ultimate, because if someone gets caught inside of that, then the tablet can pop them right out without having them spend a huge amount of time just getting burned down and a big fat purge.
I would say, or Purge and Silence, which is, you know, the hugest deal of Engineers, along with the magic damage over time. Yeah, so we do see, you know, some heroes for the Helmort side coming in bottom, maybe trying to get pick on Ophelia. Ophelia now level 10. And, wow, I just kind of realized it looks as though there's a bit of a level discrepancy between the Hellborn support and the Legion support. I mean, we're looking at, action on top, we do see, 4 members of the Legion side getting a pick. Oh no, I'm sorry, just a tower kill. And Zephyr trying to get away off of a tablet of command, not going to have him getting tarred and kegged, and Gus the enemy team back using an ult. Haggle coming in though, Pyro trying to stun, you know, making sure people have to back off.
And Barrier Idol.
And there's the Barrier Idol. Puzzle Box going down. Poker picking up a kill. Great play by Hag as always. And it looks as though Zephyr gonna try and move out of the Engineer's ult there. Hag coming forward, trying to get a slow on any of them, but Fade with a very nice ult. D-Shim coming up with a huge entangle. Fade not gonna be able to evade that. She's most likely gonna drop here. We do see Hag coming forward using the nuke to pick up the kill on Overpow. And yes, we see Ophelia now at level 11. You know, you really want to see Ophelia getting some levels in. That ult, it's just so much better of a heal at higher levels. And something else to note, Puzzle Box 3 on Wretched Hag.
Yeah.
We did see Puzzle Box a little bit earlier, but now she has it at level 3. So that's going to be able to detect Fade. How huge is that going to be, Impulse?
Fade really relies on her ultimate making her invisible, almost like, you know, a Scout or a Nighthound, depending on their invisibility to be used to their greatest effect. I mean, when Wretched Hag has that puzzle box out, Fade is next to useless in terms of initiating, in terms of getting, you know, a pick off, you know, choosing one hero and just taking them out. Fade is next to useless in that regard. I mean, obviously she'll still be able to get in there and get some damage, but her main strength is lost when that puzzle box minion is out.
Yeah,
So,
and it will also be absolutely huge to counter wards the enemy team. Like, the wards, this game has been so great. So many counter wards is really important. And she can also use it to destroy the enemy team's ward. Really great ability.
Yeah, it's going to save her money over the long term. Instead of having to spend 200 gold on Words of Revelation every, 3 minutes or 6 minutes, now you're looking at potentially